Last year inside the GSD program we just checked, we helped over 100 brand new agencies land their first 5 clients. What that's taught us is just how difficult those first 5 are, and the exact methodology that we broke down for how they did it, we just taught last week inside of our group so that other people who are just starting out can do the same thing. Those first few clients, that first handful of success really is the biggest step you need to take in your business. So if you're wondering how you can go out organically and find your first 5 clients, and this is exactly what you've been waiting for, give me about 15 minutes here, and inside this video we will drop all the details step by step for you. So without further ado, let's dive in. This is how you can land your first 5 agency clients today. Let's go. Welcome back. We're doing it again this week. We're going to be diving into some really cool shit. We're going to be talking about if you're a new agency or a newer agency, how do you get your very first client? Or if you've had a client or 2 and you keep getting them and losing them, how do you get your first 5 marketing agency clients for your SMMA agency, your SaaS agency, whatever it might be? Or your very first client if you don't have one. To do that, first, we need to shake a couple of misconceptions, okay? I know a lot of you guys out here are trying to talk to everybody, and you think if you talk to one person individually that it's going to make it so that you have to say no to people and you won't be able to get your clients that way. But I promise you, especially in the beginning, to get your first 5 clients, to get your first client, the first step of this is you need to pick a niche. You need a person that you actually talk to, because if we're trying to talk to everybody, we end up talking to nobody. Okay, so how do we pick a niche? Step 1, pick a niche. Okay, niches come in 4 parts. Can you get them results, or can you learn the results easily? Can they pay you high ticket? Meaning, can they afford your services? Can you get them sales that will actually produce profit that can afford your services plus more so that they are happy? Can you find them in abundance online? Meaning on Facebook, are they in groups? Do they have profiles? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Instagram? Where are they? And can you find a bunch of them online? And 4, do I even like these assholes? Wait, sorry, I mean people. Do I like these people? Am I monitoring my energy levels enough to know whether this is the thing I want to do every day? Because I'll tell you one thing, guys, if I wake up tomorrow and I have a full day of talking to these people, realtors, chiros, home services, marketing agencies, high ticket coaches, and all it is prospecting sales calls, pissed off clients and happy clients. If my first thought about that is waking up and thinking, God, I cannot wait to be done all of these calls, you're in the wrong place, because now you're turning into a job. You're in a situation where instead of being motivated and ambitious and all of the things you need to be to get you to go put the extra work in, to go do the extra hours, to actually go find more clients, to get to the actual revenue numbers you want, you're instead going to be clocking out every day and just not wanting to do the thing. And if you can check off all of these boxes, it's a part of what I do on the very first call with a lot of GSD students. Check these boxes and make sure you're working with the right person. Then, okay, cool, we move on with the niche. Now, again, picking a niche, guys, by the way, doesn't mean you're only going to work with these people for the rest of your life. It also doesn't mean that you have to shun everything else and that you're stuck in that box forever. What it does mean, though, is that for your first client, your first campaigns, your marketing, your messaging, your scripts, all the shit you're going to do in the beginning can now be focused. And now, instead of saying to everybody, I run Facebook ads and do PPC and SEO and everything for local businesses and everybody else, and woohoo, we're going to save your shit, I can go to realtors and say, hey, how many listings did you actually get in the last few months? A couple? Cool. I have a program and a system that can actually get you X amount of listing presentations every month, and it'll nurture a lot of those leads, those seller leads for you. Which do you think is more powerful? Which of those 2 conversations is more powerful? The generic thing that I threw up everywhere, or the specific focused thing that I can say to a one individual that actually speaks in their language? Because now we can take that and say, okay, cool. Well, part 2 of this. So we're going to take this now and say, okay, we know who we're going to talk to. Now we got to know what is it we're going to say. All right. So we've got our niche. Now we'll say, okay, well, what do we say? Step 2 is obviously create the scary offer. And what is the scary offer? It is a big end result using customer language, using specificity, and adding risk reversal. And then we want to take that, which can sound generic, and we want to add a reverse pain statement, or a USP, meaning unique selling position, so that it doesn't sound the same as everybody else and that you can address individual pain points. Okay, so we've picked, let's say, we're going to work with realtors because my business partner is, I don't know what, 60 years old, I think, Rahul, is that right? And he's worked with realtors for about half of those. So I think, a long time. I think those numbers are right, Rahul, right? Or did I
say the numbers again?
You're 60 years old and you've been working with realtors for 40 of them, right? That's
Unfortunately, yes. Or fortunately, yes. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
There's love and hate in everything we do, right? Just like family member. You love them, but you want to kill them at the same time, but you love them more than you want to kill them.
Exactly. So now we can take that experience and we can say, okay, well, I want to build an offer. So what's some pain points that I'm constantly seeing them? Okay, not need more deals. That's an obvious one, right? I want sellers instead of buyers, but I don't want to pay for them, but I don't to pay because I'm cheap.
Like these are macro pain points, meaning like if I can get you a seller lead, that I'm just thinking, hey, well, this in most markets that will be like, I know, $10,000 to $40,000 per deal that I get you. So those are like the macro goals. And if you can accomplish that, you should get paid high enough, right? But in some industries, like where there's skepticism or not a lot of people make a lot of money, but there's a big pool of people, like in real estate, 1.4 milli for real estate agents and maybe realtors that are registered with the NAR. And there's probably like 2.1 million that are just realtors that have a license, not part of NAR. Like you can find a micro problem to earn the trust and respect and then work your way up into more projects. I kind of went the foot in the door route, and there's no problem going in two different routes in any industry. I just like to shorten sales cycles really, really quickly. And then also abide by the topic here. How do we get 5 clients with the right offer, with the right pain point, with the right industry, going all in relentlessly and just calling, DMing, outbounding like crazy? You can get 5 in a week, right? Like with GHL, those are easy peasy core 4s to sell. And that's why I like the foot in the door, because then I can take a complete stranger, have them go wallet out on me and pay, and then start the conversation, develop value, add additional like help beyond the scope of what we've done. So we differentiate who we are against every other like quote unquote, like marketing monkey that they talked to before, that they fired. And they're going to be like, oh my God, this is the person, this is the gal, this is the guy. And then now you can make open recommendations where they'll trust you a hell of a lot more. And when you go from foot in the door, or if you go high ticket, we'll go the reverse too. If you guys want help going high ticket to low, that's totally fine too. But once you kind of get that trust and they feel it, they like it, you feel it, you like them. I mean, making a recommendation saying, hey, now we're set up for Facebook ads because I know in the past you tried, you failed. And the reason was because we didn't have systems in place. Now we can capture and maximize all these opportunities. And those conversations just have to be super, super strategic for you and super well planned out. Make the sale, give the implementation, get the happiness factor by getting feedback loops. Once you feel, okay, they're happy, they love the setup, they're giddy and excited, boom, it's recommendation city right then and there. You time it properly. Because I mean, you could always go cold. Like think about this. Like if somebody called you guys right now and said, hey, pay me $3,000 fucking dollars a month. You don't know shit. Here's some 3 videos of other people who said I'm good. What would you guys do? Because that's ultimately what they may be hearing. But if I said, hey, look, we can do that fancy $3,000 stuff that you've had in the past that hasn't worked for you. I just think that's out of line starting a brand new relationship together. Like, but would it be helpful if we talked about what a different solution and we go into core 4? So we can always like say, don't buy this expensive stuff. You're not even ready for it because you've already tried. It didn't work. There's no point in trying it again because it's not going to work again if we do it the same way. We need our foundation set up. And then we go into the pain of missing a phone call, the pain of not being able to communicate with your existing database and all your customers because no one's going to call them. You don't have the time. Your staff doesn't have the time, or they just don't have the skill like you have. So you kind of handcuff yourself by saying the only solution is no solution. And then your customers that you worked hard to get are now going to Google to find the solution when they need your service again. Like dentists who don't follow up. So if I go to a dentist and they don't send me email reminders every 3 months or so to go get my teeth cleaned or do a check-in, my job's not to remember who that dentist was. I don't save them in my phone. Their job is to make sure I come back and become customer loyal, get reviews, get referrals, increase my lifetime value, find more pains in my mouth or my teeth or whatever, so they can sell me more shit. But they're not marketers, they're dentists. They're teeth jockeys, right? They can fix it. They can't acquire new business. So that's what you guys can solve for when you do your foot in the door. It's instant top line revenue. And then they can see the results and the difference. And best of all, they spent like a tiny fraction and no paid ads. They don't have to do sales. They don't have to do marketing. They don't have to do shit. You've done it all for them and put it on autopilot. Now you keep in touch, you monitor, you can log in your sub account, see what's going on. And from there, you can get an idea of like, hey, now it's time to pump some new traffic in. Now we've relied on increasing our value of our database. Let's go build a new one and let's do it right this time.
So guys, we got our niche, and then we got our offer. What do we do here, right? We're saying pain points. They need more deals. They want sellers. They don't want to pay a shit ton of money for sellers. They don't want to talk to shitty leads. The offer can now become, I get real estate professionals 5 listing presentations, which is just basically a phone call with a potential listing. You got to get them sellers who are actually willing to talk every 30 days guaranteed. And you could solve one of their pain points, have a reverse pain statement by saying you never have to talk to a single unqualified lead ever again because of our AI call center system, text center system, whatever. If you're using the Core 4, have one of our, chatbot setter systems you can implement, allow them to qualify them and just book them with those seller presentations. Super easy offer to fulfill on because of the lead cost, easy way to get leads, and then having a GHL kind of powered SaaS behind it to make that all work. Then we know who we're talking to. We know what we're doing. Okay, cool. Let's go out and do the next thing, which is finding our optimal selling system, our OSS. All right. What does that mean? Well, in life, guys, we have 2 resources. Okay. 2 resources. We have time and we have money. A lot of you guys who are looking for your first agency client or your first 5 agency clients, like we're talking about today, really need to be investing time. And how you invest time, not spend time. Spending time is watching Netflix or scrolling through social media. Investing time is going out and either learning or doing the thing and getting in the reps. Okay. So what I'm talking about here is using one of your 2 resources in lifetime and investing it into your business by going out and finding out what is my optimal selling strategy. Where is my time and money and resources best spent? Which platform with which message? Because once you find that, the second phase of an OSS, an optimal selling strategy, is actually to then, focus your time on that optimal selling strategy. And then eventually you scale it with ads. But if you do this properly right now, you get to have a nice starting point. And so what I want you guys to do to find your first client is first, we're going to go out and map out where are the different places we're going to see about our optimal selling strategy. What are the different platforms I can invest my time into to test? For you guys, that's going to be Facebook groups, Facebook search bar, LinkedIn search bar, Instagram search bar, cold email. Let's take a quick little spin through a couple of these so you kind of get what that is. All right. So if I wanted to target realtors, I can go over here and I can say real estate agents. I have a couple of different hunting grounds right here in front of me for my OSS. One is going to be to go to groups. And this is one of those things. Can you find them in abundance online? I think I can find plenty of realtors online in abundance, right? So here's all these groups with 76,000, 11,000, 65,000. All of these are just loaded with different amounts of people. So if I go in here, I come in here, oh, look, and I'm allowed in here already. You got people posting their stuff right there, their business cards, all of this kind of stuff. You can come in here, you can add them as friends, you can message them. The second hunting ground, if I go and say real estate agents, instead of going to groups, you can also engage. They're going to be answering, they're going to be asking questions, they're going to be saying stuff in here. You can post value in here. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in that. The second one is going to be, instead of going to groups, I just go to people. Now, all of a sudden, it's like Mark Zuckerberg spent the last, 20 years and however many billions of dollars doing nothing but building me the perfect database of all my clients. So I can sit here and I can go through number 1. I can change up the cities on it. I can change this to realtor. I can change it to real estate broker. If I want to go after the higher value ones with team leads and all that kind of stuff. But over and over and over again, I can go here and find all of these people who are realtors, all of these people who are agents. I could also go over to pages and look into here, do stuff like click on the real estate guys, go to about, go to page transparency. They're not currently running ads, but if they were, it would say so right here. I could go to the ad library and I could see what kind of ads they were running. I could see if their ads were giant pieces of garbage that I could then message them about on how to fix with a personalized video, right? So then I could say, all right, That's 3 hunting grounds. That's 3 different optimal selling strategy platforms I could test out. What if I go over to LinkedIn? I say realtor this time instead of real estate agent or real estate broker. Now on this one, I do the same thing. I click on people. And again, now it's like, instead of Zuckerberg, now it's as if Bill Gates spent 20 years and billions of dollars building me the perfect database of all of my clients. Look at all these realtors I can connect with. You can automate stuff like this with tools like Linktelper 2, Snove.io. You can also download these tools, Snove.io for LinkedIn specifically, where this will actually scrape. This tool here, if you go and you look at it, Snove.io, if I wasn't on this little pause part here, it can actually scrape LinkedIn searches for emails. The other part of this is once you're over here, once it actually scrapes those emails, the free part of it that you can have will actually also check them. I don't use the rest of it. I think it could replace Linktelper as well. But what you can do is it shows you, are the emails good or not? So unverifiable, this one here is good. We used to have to use things like debounce for that, but now these tools are doing it a lot for themselves. So not valid, unverifiable, and good. And so it'll scrape all the emails like this, and you can actually then download them and do them for cold email. So now using the LinkedIn searches that we have, we've got cold email, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Facebook. You do the exact same thing over on Instagram, right? Look at the search bar, look at the exact thing on there. And what you do now is understand that we now have to put in the daily work and we have to earn our way to hot conversations. So what would be the best thing in the world is if every day we woke up and there was 50 people sending us a message saying, I would love to use your services. Wouldn't that be great, guys? You know, every day you wake up, your inbox is loaded with people who want to use your services and want to buy from you. Yeah, right. It is. It's the dream. Now, the problem is, and the problem with everybody shilling that dream, because you'll see all kinds of ads out there that say, I'll teach you how to do organic marketing, never have to spend a dime on ads, and you'll get all this shit, and you'll never have to send a cold DM in your life. It's true if you've got the time to sit around and not make $1 for a bunch of months. And a whole organic system that will do exactly that. If you do the thing every single day, put in the daily work and earn your way to those hot conversations, eventually, like we do, you'll wake up every day with a whole bunch of engagement, a whole bunch of people raising their hand, and a whole bunch of people sending you DMs saying they want to work with you. But it's not something that is instantaneous. If you want to get your first client now, if you don't want to wait 2, 3, 4 months of doing the daily work every single day, building up all that momentum and getting that stuff pushed forward, then you've got to do some cold. You've got to send some DMs. And what I'm talking about today for us, for what we're trying to do, which is get your first client, get your first 5 clients, all of that shit, means that we want to be able to send about 30 to 50 outbound messages per platform. And earning our way to hot conversations means if I've got only 5 engagement, comments, and inbound messages, then that means I've got to find 25 to 45 conversations somewhere else. And so as we're doing our daily work, if we think of the perfect stranger method as the car, that's the organic process. That's the car, right? These daily things that we're doing every single day is the fuel. If I post content every single day, if I add targeted friends every single day, if I have my profile funnel set up, and again, we're going to be going over this in depth next week, then eventually I'll get a whole bunch of my targeted friends for warm people. If I have a group, they'll be seeing that and going into my group. As I post content, they'll get engagement. As I engage in other people's groups, I'll start to get inbound DMs. And more of this will happen. But if I want to be able to get my first client faster, and find my optimal selling strategy quicker, I want to get through all that testing as fast as I possibly can. What do I got to do? I got to do some of the dirty work. I got a cold email. I got a cold DM. I got a cold call. But if I do that with a focus of a niche and a scary offer, and this third thing, or this fourth thing that we're about to talk about, which is what Rahul talked about, which is put in the door offers to be able to get the conversation started. And I'm going to give 2 or 3 that I like a lot. And then I'm going to pass the mic to Rahul to give 2 or 3 that he likes a lot before we wrap up today's training. These can be the thing that will really get the conversation going. These can be the thing that really flows that through. So for me, one of the biggest foot in the door offers for me that I like a lot is the rookie contract. All right. And this is for high ticket. This is for your high ticket program, your agency offer, all of that kind of stuff. Core concept of the rookie contract is that it's a show me contract. Okay. So you do a break even price point for 2 months. And if you do what you promised you could do, the contract auto renews at the regular rate for 3 months. So what this means is you're going to run into a lot of you newer agencies, you're going to run into on these sales calls where they're like, hey, well, who the hell are you? Why should I trust you? Where's all your testimonials? Give me a reference client. Give me this, give me that, give me that. A bunch of shit you're not going to be able to produce because you're a newer client. What this allows you to do is you say, okay, Mr. Cody, Mr. Client here, actually in this situation specifically, I have a different type of offer that I only roll out when needed. It's only if I have this conversation with you, Mr. Client, and I absolutely know that we're the right fit. We're going to be able to help you 100%. So what I call this is the rookie contract, or you can say it's a show me contract. It's me putting my money where my mouth is. So basically I'm going to work for practically free. I'm just going to cover my expenses. So if you do like a $2,000 a month normal marketing package, you do this for like $500 or $750, like a significant discount for the first couple of months. You say, oh, this is going to cover my staff and my software, and that's it. So it's going to be a significant discount to what I would normally be doing. And honestly, I'm going to be losing a little bit of money, but I want to use this to show you that we are who we say we are. We can do what we say we're going to do. So I'm going to do this for you, Mr. Client, and we're going to do 2 months. And if I do the 5 listing presentations each month, if we average out 10 for the full 60 days, then it just auto renews and we begin our regular relationship that you've already bought into, you've already said you would do, right? Immediately after that. No ifs, ands, or buts. And the contract here, what we're talking about is making sure that this is in writing. So there's no negotiation, no tit for tat bullshit. When it comes down to it, this is supposed to be a show me contract. I prove I put my money where my mouth is, and we begin our real shit after that. That is something we teach heavily inside of the GSD program. It is a huge lever point for being able to get your first handful of clients. And to me, that's one of my favorite foot in the door sales strategies and that you can possibly do. Second foot in the door one that I like a lot is a database reactivation campaign. This one becomes a little bit more difficult nowadays with A2P, but you can still do it pretty easily. The reason I like the database reactivation campaign is because it can be an easy reverse pain statement. So it can be a without ad spend type offer, meaning, I will get you like 20 qualified buyer on the phone in 7 days without spending a dime on ads, right? And so now you have it where as long as you know that, this should be, let's say 5 to 10% of a warm list should book, then that means you need 200 to 500-ish leads to be able to do the database reactivation. So as long as you know that, you can go in and do that. And again, all of these foot in the door offers can be downsells. I like them a lot as using scary offer to start conversation. Downsell is the foot in the door offer to gain trust and to have an easier, again, foot in the door situation. So when you're trying to get like what we're talking about right now, and this is the last part of this, right, guys? What have we gone over so far? We've gone over pick your niche, craft your offer. We've gone over find your optimal selling strategy. And I've given you a number of platforms and ways that you can do it. I showed those all to you. And now I'm going over some foot in the door and sales strategies for you to do these strategies, the people, and actually get this client closed. So everybody see how this methodology all together that we've kind of reviewed today can help you get your first 5 clients. Everybody kind of finding this helpful so far? Yeah. So the DBR is the same kind of thing. As I view these primarily as really good sales strategies. These foot in the door offers is very good ways to say, okay, I've got you, I'm talking to you on the phone or I'm talking to you in Messenger and we're talking about my scary offer, but you're just not quite sure I'm the person to do it, right? When we're talking about sales, to me anyway, it's always, you need 10 out of 10 certainty on I'm the person to do it. My offer is the thing to solve your problem and my company will put your needs above its own, right? Those are the 3 things on there. And that's I quote that from Jordan Belfort's book all the time because I like that straight line method a lot. And that's where we need to be leveling up that certainty. And we can use these foot in the door offers to present ourselves with a way to position into the relationship and get to know, like, and trust us, to show them we are who we say are, that we can get this shit done. Okay, so I want to put Rahul on the spot a little bit and ask him what at least another two foot in the door offers from you that you like a lot that aren't covered here.
Like, I'm not going to just go over foot in the door offers. I'm just going to go over the thought process of speed of execution.
Perfect.
Like the first thing that I'm looking for is like, once I understand the stuff that Cody's already covered, like the niche, the pain point that I can solve. Now I just need to like really kind of tune into like, where the heck are they? Now I like trade websites. Like I'm going to use, let's say, dentists and realtors, for example. Dentists, I can go to ZocDoc. It's a whole entire directory, or I can Google dental software, and chances are it'll be something like ZocDoc or Google ZocDoc, and it'll give me all their competitors, which are all like dental sites. Then I can go to dental award sites, and I can do this for any industry. So now I know where they're spending their money. I know where they're located. I have all their correct information. Then I'm going to dial in my offer a little deeper. I'm going to think like, all right, based on like, I'm going to go to realtor.com because this is like something I'm much more familiar with. So when I go to realtor.com, I see a lot of people spending money. They have shit advertisements. My pain point is their pain point is they're spending a lot of money and they're wasting it because the advertisement is a template. It doesn't look very good. It's not going to attract any appeal. The call to action is a bumper sticker. Everything I touch turned to sold, some bullshit like that. To me, that's my eye candy. And I'm just like, fuck, this person's going to be spending 300, $400 right when I call them. So I'm already like, that's a lead, even though I'm outbounding them, I'm just thinking that's so hot and warm that who in the world will want to waste their money because they're probably spending tens of thousands of dollars. So that's kind of how I find like, all right, I got the pain point, shit advertising, expensive ads. If I can solve that where I can turn this shit advertisement that's very expensive for that real estate and get it to flip to actually work, get clicks, get customers, monetize it, I'm the hero. And best of all, I'm not charging them the tens of thousands of dollars of the real estate. I'm charging them hundreds of dollars to solve that pain of wasting their money. So now I have my offer crafted. And then now once I have my offer crafted, I just find as many of those as humanly possible. I hit refresh. I go to different markets, whatever. I scroll down the page, whether it's Google Maps, award websites, trade websites, whatever. And then I just have to be an outreach specialist and not give a shit about picking up the fucking phone or sending that cold email and spending that time because this is precise action. I already identified the pain. They just now need to be tickled with that pain that, hey, you're either aware it sucks and you've been like, fuck, I don't know what to do, or you're unaware it sucks and it needs somebody to tell you it sucks, right? So sometimes you need that. And now I'm going to say it in a very polite way. So I craft my message and then I go after it. If I want to kind of like not be as tenacious, I can email it first with a screenshot or kind of get a little detailed up front so I get the result. So me personally, I would take a screenshot of specifically their ad, their landing page, and then give them the recommendation saying, hey, I can turn this around so it's much more effective. So when somebody sees that ad, because you have an amazing placement, you just don't have such an amazing ad that can actually be tweaked. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but if you want some help, I'm happy to actually guide you through it. Just hit reply and I can maybe call you on this number. So I can just get a message going. Now I'll trail it with a call. Now I have my lead magnet already went in their inbox. Now I can reference my email and saying, hey, yeah, I saw that you had an amazing real estate, amazing advertisement. I just noticed that it could be much more effective. I'm not sure if you're interested or not, but like, would it make sense if you saw what it is and what it could be that can get you more clicks and maybe turn that into much more accounts or listings or properties for you? Would that make sense for you? And then they can say, yeah, of course it would. Can tell me what you got. And then I can just walk them through my offer and my price, because now I have to compare what they paid for the real estate and what they're going to lose upon it by keeping it the same. Well, just out of curiosity, I know that they charge a lot for that kind of stuff. If you don't mind me asking, what's your annual contract for it? If they say 10 grand, 20 grand or whatever, I'll be like, oof, that's a lot. So maybe this might be worthwhile for you. And then I can just dig in and give them the price, and I can make up my own price because I already know my cost of goods delivered. It's going to cost me $25 to $30. Now the rest is my time. Am I going to write the copy for them? Am I going to grab their images for them or make them do this by filling in a Google form so I can just send a link? They send it back. Once I receive it back, goes to the designer sends it to me, quality assure it, make sure it's good, send it to the client, call the client, tell them it's approved, saying if you approve, reply back saying I love it, and then we launch it. And then I go back once they love it, upsell, cross sell. So in a speed, Bone Thugs and Harmony type way, I just kind of explain the whole entire process. In terms of my first sale, my second sale is going to happen on their happiness factor. If they love what I did and they're like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing, I love it, then I'm going to expand the value that they can use it for. I'm going to expand the value in the sense of you can use this on your email signatures. You can use this on your listing presentations. You can use this on your website. You can use it for other platforms that you may be considering advertising. Hey, if you want us to make this a banner for the school magazine or those things that go outside baseball stadiums at high schools and elementary schools, we can redesign it for you and add another value on top. And if you're interested in that, you can have that, or even a background for your Zooms, whatever it is you want. So now you have expanded value for the same thing without paying more for it. Now, my upsell, cross-sell is going to be the 4-season marketing specific to this. So I'm already thinking through my future. I'm not just stopping here and doing a one and done and being like a bread on a shelf where I expire and it gets moldy. I'm going to now say, hey, there's something called 4 seasons, right? What are they? There's whatever, winter, summer, autumn, and spring, right? Now, when it comes to marketing, we have 4 quarters. Every quarter, the advisable way from marketing perspective, from the way we do things with very successful people in your space, is we have 4 different designs, 4 different quarters. Would you like to have the 4 seasons marketing so we don't get fatigue from our advertisements? So now I'm going to upsell them 3 more units of that same banner, but all I have to do is change the copy. Now I'm becoming a delete and write new text specialist. And now I can say, if you do it this way, I'm going to charge you for 2 more, give you the 3rd one free. How would you like to save $250? Same credit card? Cool. Send you the receipt, file it away. If you talk to your tax accountant, they'll probably say 50% is going to be written off. So it doesn't go to Uncle Sam. It just goes right into your business. So there's even more value, right? With the tax thing. So that's kind of how I'm just selling the same thing over and over. Now, if I wanted to make additional recommendations, like from graphics or like whatever, go high levels for core 4, then I can say like, hey, well, as we get to know your business, once we're setting this stuff up, I'll have some information, we'll have some conversations, but would you be okay if I made some recommendations that I saw fit that can boost your revenue along the way? If would anybody say no to that? If I said it that way, if I said, hey, Brian, it would be cool with you if I can make some recommendations to you that I think you can make a bunch more money. I don't think you'd say no to that. Say absolutely. Cool. Like, as I see fit, I'll just make those recommendations and we're going to see if it makes sense for you. Now I'm open mic'd. Now I'm teed up. Next time I talk to him, a week, 2 weeks, a month later, whenever the timing's right, you put it in your calendar and you never, ever, you keep moving it forward and forward and forward until you actually pick up the phone and have that conversation. So you don't leak opportunities for yourself or deny the customer to spend more money with you so they can get more out of it. That's also the other side of the coin. But then you call them and just be like, yo, I was thinking about the biz and I saw that we've got everything set up. Everything seems to be churning pretty well. I had some recommendations for you. Like I mentioned when we originally talked, is now a good time to go over those. Now I have 3 that I want to run by you, and then we'll pick which ones we want to execute now or table to the future. Make sense? Cool. And then recommendation 1, recommendation 2, recommendation 3. Of those 3, which one's priority for us to go forward with? So does that sound simple enough? I know I've sped through this like if you went to college, you'd have to learn this by the 4th year. Here you learn it in like the 4th minute of me talking. If you want leads to come to you, be dope as hell with your content and create authority, or run a bunch of marketing ads and sift through them and close them. But if you're not going to do that, you go to your clients and then they respect you by giving them recommendations that the other 10 million marketers that are going to start their marketing shop and call themselves CEOs on a business card tomorrow are going to do, is try to see a video by an Andrew Tate or some fucker out there and think selling $2,000 a month shit is easy. It's not. It's fucking hard. It's hard for 10-year veterans. But if you have the right angle and strategy, you'll crush those fools by just being conscious of the pain you solve. And if you're like me, I'm a shortened sales cycle guy. That's why I'm all about the foot in the door. That's why I have these quote unquote hot dog offers. I can easily go long game and say, hey, let's be strangers at first, and a month or 2 later, you'll trust me because like I'm going to be your biggest bill you ever had besides like your personal staff. If I'm charging you $3,000, like a restaurant owner that does like 20, 30 grand a month won't fit the bill for 3 large, but they will for 500 a month. And then once it works, you'll be the guy, you'll be the girl, you'll be the person. They can now trust you because they're going to go spend that stupid ass 5,000 with the chamber sometime. You might as well build the trust now and get that 5,000 and show them why that's the dumbest shit on the planet. Right. That's where I tell people, just if you're going to put 5,000 into the Chamber of Commerce, you might as well either keep it, burn it, or donate it, because you're going to lose it if you do stupid stuff like that. So we become their consultant.
Thank you so much for spending the time to watch that amazing training. Like I mentioned previously, my intention is for you not just to watch that training, but if you got something out of it, if you think this information is useful, I want you to continue that journey with us. And you can do that in a couple of ways. 1, I want you to smash that subscribe button so that you get notified every single time we put another one of these out, which will be at minimum once to twice per week. The other thing I want you to do is go ahead and click that next video right there beside you so that you can dive in and get shit done. Hope to see you out there.